Trapped Beneath the Earth, the Nutty Putty Cave Incident, 2009. Nutty Putty Cave is a hydrothermal cave system located in Utah, characterized by its soft porous limestone and tight winding passageways. Originally discovered in 1960, the cave quickly became popular among recreational cavers due to its challenging narrow tunnels. However, its composition, marked by unstable, clay-like surfaces, led to several cases of cavers becoming temporarily stuck over the years, prompting warnings about its inherent dangers. Despite these risks, the cave remained an attractive site for adventure seekers. However, in November 2009, a routine exploration turned into a fatal accident that would lead to the permanent closure of Nutty Putty Cave. The incident involved 26-year-old John Edward Jones, a medical student and experienced caver, whose tragic entrapment would become one of the most well-documented cave rescues in U.S. history. John Edward Jones was born in 1983 into a family with a deep appreciation for outdoor exploration. As a child, he often accompanied his father and brothers on caving excursions, developing a familiarity with underground navigation. He later pursued a medical career, enrolling in medical school to become a doctor. By November 2009, John was married with a 1-year-old daughter and had temporarily returned to Utah for the Thanksgiving holiday. During this visit, he and his younger brother, Josh Jones, decided to explore Nutty Putty Cave as part of a recreational outing. Though John had prior caving experience, it had been several years since his last serious spelunking attempt, and Nutty Putty's notoriously tight passages presented a significant physical challenge. On the evening of November 24, 2009, John, Josh, and several friends entered Nutty Putty Cave with the intention of exploring some of its most well-known features. The group made their way through several of the cave's main passageways, encountering tight corridors and vertical drops characteristic of the cave's structure. At some point, John decided to attempt navigating a particularly narrow passage, which he believed was the route to an area known as the Birth Canal, a well-documented challenge within the cave. However, due to the complex and disorienting nature of Nutty Putty's tunnels, he mistakenly entered an uncharted, tighter crevice. As John maneuvered into the passage, he moved head first, using his hips and shoulders to propel himself forward. However, due to the decreasing width of the tunnel, he soon found himself unable to progress any further. In an attempt to reposition himself, he exhaled to compress his chest and shift downward. Unfortunately, this maneuver caused him to slip even deeper, inverting his body into an almost vertical head-down position, approximately 10 inches across and 15 feet below the nearest open tunnel. Upon attempting to back out, he discovered that his arms were too restricted to push against the surrounding walls. The situation quickly escalated from an uncomfortable position to a full entrapment. His brother, Josh, who was nearby, attempted to pull him out but soon realized that the tunnel's shape and John's position made self-extrication impossible. Realizing the severity of the situation, Josh exited the cave to contact emergency services. Within hours, trained cave rescue personnel arrived at the scene, equipped with specialized tools designed for confined space extractions. The primary challenge in the rescue effort was John's inverted position. The human body is not designed to remain upside down for extended periods, as it places excessive pressure on the brain and lungs. Additionally, Nutty Putty Cave's narrow passages made it difficult for rescuers to reach John, let alone maneuver him out of the space. Rescue teams attempted to construct a pulley system anchored to the cave walls, aiming to hoist John upwards by his legs. This required careful excavation around his body to create enough clearance for movement. After several hours of effort, rescuers successfully secured John's legs and managed to pull him slightly upwards. However, the cave walls were composed of soft, unstable limestone, which proved to be an unreliable anchor point. Suddenly, a key section of the pulley system gave way, causing John to slip back into his original position. The unexpected failure not only prolonged the operation but also placed additional strain on John, whose circulation and respiratory function had already been compromised due to prolonged inversion. As time passed, his condition deteriorated, and his ability to respond to rescuers became increasingly intermittent. Despite continued efforts, the combination of spatial limitations, mechanical failures, and John's declining physical state led the rescuers to the conclusion that further extraction attempts would not be viable. After over 27 hours trapped in the cave, John became unresponsive, and medical professionals determined that he had succumbed to cardiac arrest due to the stress on his body. Given the extreme difficulty in safely retrieving his remains, authorities decided to permanently seal the cave, entombing John within Nutty Putty Cave as his final resting place. Concrete was poured over the entrance to prevent future accidents. The Nutty Putty Cave incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks associated with confined space exploration. While caving can be a rewarding and exhilarating activity, it necessitates thorough preparation, an understanding of geological conditions, and strict adherence to safety protocols. John Edward Jones' story remains one of the most well-documented cave rescue attempts in modern history, highlighting both the perseverance of rescue teams and the unforgiving nature of underground environments.